Hello guys and welcome to what happened in 10 years of Football Manager 2017. I was going to make this series a big altogether one file, but it was a bit too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into clubs and players, where we'll look at the leagues and everything like that as well in a different episode. But this one we're just looking at players only. I've selected a handful of young wonderkids that I'm going to talk about in the video, and also some regens as well. So let's get into the video and let's see what happened in 10 years of Football Manager 2017. So we've moved on to the players now, and where are they now in this 10-year holiday mode save? We'll start off with Marcus Rashford, because he's basically one of the most prodigious English talents in the game. As you can see here, he's currently playing for West Ham. He's worth 30 million. He's had 83 caps for England, scoring 37 goals. He's now 28 years old. Let's have a quick look at his attributes. 5 excellent stats, above 15, penalty taking 16, flair 17, plenty of pace and acceleration, 18 apiece, and 17 agility. Let's have a quick look at his history, see when he moved from Man United to West Ham and how he's performed. So he played for Man United, hasn't really performed at all in this save actually. He's every season below 7 rating. He moved to West Ham in the 21-22 season for a tag of 37.5 million, where he's played in his first season 25 games, scoring 4 goals for a 6.72 rating. In 22-23 he played 20 games for 5 goals. In 23-24 7 goals from 25 games, and in 24-25 he scored 9 from 29, and in 25-26 he scored 13 in 30. So he's progressively getting a bit better, although his average ratings are still around the 6.8 mark. 74 goals in total from 253 games. Yeah, a bit disappointing that really. You'd kind of expect someone like Marcus Rashford to be doing a lot better than that. I mean, that goes to prove, doesn't it, that if you have hands-on training and don't leave it to your assistants and the computer, you can get a lot more out of your players. So let's have a look at his achievements. So here we go. He won the League Cup with Man United in 2017 and the Community Shield. He won the FA Cup with Man United in 2019. He won the Premier League with Man United in 2020 and the Community Shield. And then he won the Euros in 2024 with England and the Europa League with West Ham in 2025. So that is Marcus Rashford. He's on 125 grand a week. So that's Rashford done. Let's move on to the next player, and we're going to take a look at Renato Sanches next. So here we are. We are on Renato Sanches, and the first thing you may have noticed, people, is that he no longer plays for Bayern Munich, and he now plays for Real Madrid in La Liga. He's valued at 33.5 million, earning 300 grand a week. Look at all those orange stats. There's a lot of excellent attributes in that profile. He's had 120 caps for his national team, 22 goals. He's an adept in several midfield positions. He will be one of the best midfielders in this save, I presume. Let's have a look at his history. Let's see when he got the move away from Bayern to Real Madrid, and let's see how he's performed each season. So here we go. He only had 1 season with Bayern, 22 games, 6 goals, 5 assists for a 6.96 rating. He then made a move to Real Madrid for 52 million and has been there ever since, averaging above 7 every season, playing a total of 360 games throughout his career, 63 goals, 46 assists, 15 player of the matches. That is top draw, isn't it? You know, he's 30 odd game a season man, 7+ rating, plenty of assists, nice amount of goals in there as well. Still young, still do things. Let's have a look at what he's achieved during the save. So here we go. So he won the Bundesliga with Bayern in 2017, the Supercopa de España with Real Madrid in 2017, the Copa del Rey in 2018, the Supercopa de España in 2018, the UEFA Champions League in 2019, the Europa International League in 2019 with Portugal. He's also won the UEFA Super Cup in 2019, the FIFA Club World Cup in 2019 with Real Madrid, the Euros in 2020 with Portugal, the Copa del Rey in 2024, and the Santander La Liga, his first La Liga with Real Madrid in all those seasons, in 2025. So let's have another look back at his profile. This is Renato Sanches. Next we're going to move on to Riechedly Bazoer and see how he's done. So it would seem that Riechedly Bazoer is now with Arsenal. He was with Ajax at the start of the game. He's got 5 excellent attributes above 15. Those are passing, technique, work rate, composure and strength. There's plenty of 15s and 14s in there. He's valued at 24.5 million, earning 190 grand a week for Arsenal. 102 caps for his national side with 10 goals. Let's have a quick look at his history and see how he ended up at Arsenal. So here we go. He was with Ajax at the start of the save. He had 2 seasons with Ajax before a £24.5 million move to Chelsea, where, let's be honest, things didn't really kick off for him at all at Chelsea. Average ratings of the mid-6s, 6.83 on his final start. He then made a £44 million move to Inter Milan on the 21-22 season, playing 29 games with 4 assists and a goal for a 7.25 average rating. He had another season with Inter Milan in 22-23, playing 37 games with 9 assists and a goal plus 2 player of the matches for 7.09 rating. He then moved to Spain, where Real Madrid came calling for a £36.5 million fee, playing 20 games in his first season for a 7.09 average rating. And in his second season in La Liga, he played 28 games for a 7.36 average rating, scoring 2 goals, 3 assists and 3 player of the matches. Then the Premier League came calling again, and Arsenal, who we've already gone on to on the team area of this, came calling with a £31.5 million bid, which was accepted in the 25-26 season. He played 37 games for Arsenal in that first season, scoring 7 goals, making 7 assists for a 6.99 average rating. He'll probably need to work on that, but he scored more goals and created more than in previous seasons. So, you know, he's still young, still got plenty of time at Arsenal to do better. Let's have a quick look at his achievements. So his landmarks are: he got his first international goal versus Turkey in 2018. He won the FA Cup with Chelsea in 2020. He won the Copa del Rey with Real Madrid in 2024 and the La Liga in 2025 with Real Madrid, and then the Community Shield with Arsenal in 2025. So let's go back to his profile once more for one last look. This is Riechedly Bazoer. He's 29 years of age. He's probably got 4 or 5 more seasons in him at this stage. Good solid player. Can't say any more than that really. So after that now, let's go and have a look at Gabriel Barbosa. See how he got on, the young Brazilian. So here we have the young Brazilian, Gabriel Barbosa here. 4 stats, excellent stats. First touch, passing, technique and anticipation, all above 15. 17 techniques, his best stat. He's played 4 games for Brazil, scoring 2 goals in that. He's worth 10.75 million, earning 83 grand a week for Inter Milan. He started the game at Inter Milan. He's still at Inter Milan. Let's go and have a look at the history and see if he's moved anywhere else in between, or whether he's just stayed there throughout. So here we go. Let's have a look. So here we are. So he moved to Inter Milan for 23.5 million at the start of the game. He's played pretty much every season at Inter Milan apart from a loan spell at Wolfsburg in 2018-19 and a loan spell at Porto in 2019-2020. I'd say probably that season with Porto was about his best season throughout the save. A fairly decent season in 24-25 with Inter Milan. His best goal scoring season came in 22-23, where he scored 13 goals in 37 games, 8 goals in 24-25, and 5 goals in his most recent season of 33 appearances for a high sixes performer, high 6-7-5, 6-8 kind of performer, similar really to Marcus Rashford, who we've already looked at a little bit earlier on. Let's see if he's won anything with Inter Milan on the achievements board. So here we go. He won the TIM Cup in 2025 with Inter Milan. That's the only thing he's won. Bit of a disappointing one. I kind of expected him to be a bit better than this, actually, but you know, this is what happens when you leave the training and the playing to the computer. Sometimes players don't develop as much as you'd expect them to, and I think this is the case with Gabriel Barbosa. So let's leave Gabriel Barbosa here for today, and let's head on to our next player of choice, and we're going to have a look at Real Madrid's Martin Ødegaard. So the young Norwegian Martin Ødegaard, 27 years of age on this save. He's played 89 times for his country, scoring 19 goals. Valued at 35 million, playing for Bordeaux in France in League One, earning 105 grand a week. As you can see from his stats, he looks quite good, actually. Yeah, I like that. He's adept in many midfield positions, particularly on the right hand side. That's a good acquisition for Bordeaux, I think. He's a good player. So let's go across to his history and let's see where he's been. Because he was at Real Madrid, don't forget, at the start of the save. So surprising that they've got rid of him. But let's have a look where he's been. And he's been to quite a few places, actually, by the look of this. So he started off with Real Madrid. He hasn't played any games for Real Madrid in that spell. He went on loan to Wolverhampton in the 2017-18 season in the Premier League, where he played 35 times for 2 goals and 2 assists for a 6.61 rating. He then spent a season on loan with Genoa in Italy in Serie A, playing 38 times for 3 goals, 2 assists for a 6.69 rating. Stoke then came calling in the 19-20 season, again back to the Premier League for a loan with a 1.4 million fee, 32 games for Stoke, 1 goal, 4 assists, 6.48 rating. Then off to Shakhtar in 2021, where he spent 11 games on loan in the Ukraine, scoring 1 goal and 1 assist for a 7.39 rating. Then he had a season back with Real Madrid, played 7 times in that season with 1 goal and 2 assists. Then he briefly started for Real Madrid in 22-23, but then sealed a £7.2 million move to Newcastle. And he played 17 times in that first season with 1 goal and 2 assists. His second season at Newcastle was more fruitful, 38 appearances this time with 7 goals, 6 assists and 2 Man of the Match awards. Then he sealed a £24.5 million switch to Chelsea, again in the Premier League, as we all know. 11 appearances in that first season, 6.74 average rating before 24 appearances in his next season. 5 goals, 3 assists for a 6.85 average rating. And then he's recently sealed a £23.5 million switch to Bordeaux in League One in France. Hasn't played any games yet, but that season hasn't begun, so it'd be interesting to see how he gets on. Let's have a quick look at his achievements. So here we go. He won the FA Community Shield with Chelsea in 2024 and also won the Premier League in 2025. Not much else to report really for Martin Ødegaard, so let's leave him here and let's go and have a look at Dele Alli. On to Dele Alli here, and as we can see, he still plays for Tottenham. He's 30 years old now in this save. He's played 124 times for England, scoring 23 goals. He's got quite a few decent stats above 15: acceleration, composure, flair, work rate, technique, passing, first touch and finishing. He's valued at 27 million, earning 195 grand a week. Let's head across into his history. As you can see, predominantly on the right side, he's capable in various different positions. Let's have a look at his stats. So as you can see, he's only stayed at Tottenham throughout the save, and he's averaged over 7 in each season, scoring double figures in majority of them. A really good top-class Premier League midfielder who has really performed for Spurs each season without fail. His first season was probably the worst, but thereafter he hasn't gone below 7 in any of the seasons, and he's scored plenty, he creates plenty, and he gets his fair share of man of the matches. That is a good history role there for Dele Alli. Let's have a look at his achievements that he's done with Spurs. So his first achievement, he won the League Cup in 2018, won the Europa League in 2019, the League Cup again in 2021, the FA Cup in 2021, the Europa League again in 2023, the Super Cup also in 2023, the Premier League in 2024, the Euros with England in 2024, and the FA Cup in 2026. All said, that is a solid performance from Dele Alli, who, if this was in real life, would go down as one of the greatest England players of all time, and I think that's pretty fair really based on what I've seen there. He's currently listed by request at Tottenham. Not sure how that will play out, but we'll see how that gets on in the future of the save. So that's been Dele Alli. Let's have a look at Maximiliano Romero next, the Argentinian striker. Let's see how he's done. So we're on to this Argentinian attacking force now. Maximiliano Romero. He's 27 years of age. He's only played 6 times for his country, scoring 1 goal. I'm a bit surprised by that because in my Bournemouth save on my series that I've got on this channel, he's been a real potent threat and force, and he's playing a good amount of games for his country. So I'm surprised by that. He's got a fair amount of stats above 15. He's finishing, penalty taking, off the ball, anticipation, balance, stamina and strength. He's full circle in the poacher and complete forward role, and he's also versatile in the advanced forward, target man and trequartista roles. He can also double up as a shadow striker, advanced playmaker, attacking midfielder if you're short of options, but obviously he's better played as a striker. So let's head across into his history and see how he's got on in the series. So he started off with Vélez in 2016-2017. He then made a bizarre switch to LA Galaxy in the MLS in the USA in 2017 for 6.5 million, scoring 14 goals in 21 games with 4 assists, 7.36 rating. It wasn't long before Portugal came knocking, and it was Sporting Lisbon who picked him up for 9 million, 12 goals in his first campaign with 8 goals for 7.05. He then averaged around 20 goals a season for the Portuguese outfit for around the next 6 seasons, give or take one here and there, but every rating above 7 before a £37.5 million switch to Borussia Dortmund in 22-23. In his first season, he returned 17 goals from 32 games, following that up with 15 goals from 34 games in season 2, 23 goals from 30 games in his third season for the club with a 7.35 rating, and in his last season he played 13 games for no goals, no assists. It was quite a bad season. I don't know if he picked up an injury or perhaps he wasn't playing as often as his performances would need, really, to be honest. Perhaps he lost a bit of morale, or he's decayed a bit in potential through not playing. We don't know on that score, but I think generally speaking that's a solid return for a player you can pick up for 6 million at the start. So that's good. Let's have a look at what he's achieved in the save. So there's quite a bit here. He won the Premier Liga with Sporting Lisbon in 2019. He won the FIFA World Cup Under-20s with Argentina in 2019. He won the Supertaça Candido de Oliveira in 2019. He won the Taça da Liga with Sporting in 2020. the Taça de Portugal Placard in 2020 again with Sporting. He made his international debut in 2021 and scored his first international goal versus Brazil in 2021. I assume that would have been on his debut looking at that. He then won the Premier Liga in 2022 with Sporting before moving to Borussia Dortmund, where in his first season he fired them to a Bundesliga win. In 2023 he won the DFL Super Cup in 2023 also, and the Super Cup again in 2025. So all in all, I think that's a fairly solid campaign here. He's worth 34.5 million, a good investment if you can get him cheap enough at the start. A team like Dortmund are utilising his talents. I'd say that was quite a success really looking at that. So let's leave that one there. Let's go and have a look at the AC Milan goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma and see how he's got on. So slight correction to the name there. I incorrectly pronounced it as Donnarumma. It's Donnarumma. Gianluigi Donnarumma, and as you can see, he has got an absolute wealth of top class goalkeeping stats. He's morphed into possibly the best goalkeeper on the game, possibly better than David De Gea. But he's an exciting talent. He's only 27, so he's 17 when the game starts. He's played 77 times for his country. Valued at £46 million, earning £205 a week. He's better in the goalkeeper role and can play the sweeper keeper role also. Let's go and have a look at his history. He's ended up at PSG here, so let's see how he got there. So he played with Milan here for the first couple of seasons on the save, conceding 37 in 37. Then he made the switch to PSG in 2018-19 for £34 million, where he's conceded between low to mid 20s each season through pretty much 36-37 appearances each time, averaging generally above a 7 rating. No surprise really that PSG have pretty much dominated the French football on this game, and I think that is in part to this guy being in the goal. Let's have a look at his achievements. I'm sure there's going to be many of them, so here we go. Gonna take a while to read this one out. So he won the Serie A with Milan in 2018. He won the Trophée des Champions in 2018 with PSG. He won the Coupe de la Ligue in 2019, Ligue 1 in 2019, the Coupe de France in 2019, the UEFA European Championship in under 21s in 2019, the Trophée des Champions in 2029, Ligue 1 again in 2020, Coupe de la Ligue in 2021. 2021 also they won the Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France again. They won the UEFA Champions League, they won the Trophée des Champions, they won the UEFA Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup. 2021 was a great year for being a PSG fan. In 2022 they won the Ligue 1 again, the Trophée des Champions, they won the Coupe de France in 2023 and the Trophée des Champions. 2024 Ligue 1 winners again, 2025 Coupe de la Ligue winners, 2025 again Ligue 1 winners, and Ligue 1 winners in 2026. So 2021 was the best year by far for PSG and Donnarumma in this save, but look at all those things he's helped lead his team to. He's a real great talent in this save and the game in general, and there's no reason to suggest he's done yet. He's only 27, he's only going to keep getting better. PSG are going to be a real force in this save for some time to come. So that's been Gianluigi Donnarumma. Next we're going to go and have a look at Christian Pulisic, and we'll move on from that. So here we've got the American Christian Pulisic, 105 caps for his country, 29 goals. He's 27 years of age. He's valued at £24 million, earning 150 grand a week at Inter Milan. There's plenty of orange stats in there, so that is always a good sign. So let's go and have a look at how he's progressed in his career. So he started off at Dortmund in 2016-17. He made a £19.5 million switch to Liverpool in 2017-2018. In 2018-19, he didn't score any goals, but played 22 games for a poor 6.67 rating. It was a lot better in the 19-20 season. 22 games again, 5 assists, 2 goals for 7.05. He then made a £26.5 million switch to Italy in Serie A for Inter Milan. 26 games in his first season, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's then played mid-30 odd games a season, averaging 2 goals a season, 5 to 6 assists during that. Reasonable amount of player matches, and generally a very high 6 to low 7 rating. Not sure if I'm impressed with that. Again, I think if you were managing him humanly, I think you'd probably get more out of him. I think the AI computer probably doesn't progress them as much as we can by taking more of a focus. But I think he's a good player to get. If you can get him relatively cheap at the start from Borussia Dortmund, then that's got to be worth looking at. Perhaps he's a left midfielder. He can play attacking midfield left or midfield left, or as you can see there, he's pretty versatile in several midfield positions, and he can double up as a last resort striker if you're out of options. So that's been Christian Pulisic. I think we'll leave the known players there. What we'll do next is we'll try something a little bit different. We'll go and have a look at the 5 best regens on the game since it started. This will be interesting. We'll see how good they are. I'm going to try and find one for each position. So we're going to have the best goalkeeper, the best defender, the best midfielder, the best attacking midfielder, and the best striker that I can find. So let's try the goalkeeper up next, who I'm going to find and will pop up on the video now. So as they are one of the most successful teams on this save, it is no surprise that the first regen player comes from Arsenal, and it is their goalkeeper João Baltazar, who has some really good stats, much the same as Donnarumma. He's played 60 times for his country in goal, earning 175 grand a week, valued at 26.5 million. A lot of really good stats there. He's a really good keeper. Let's go and have a look at his history. So here we go. So he started off with Varzim B in the second league over in Portugal before a £5.5 million move to Arsenal in 2018-2019. He then went back to his former club on loan for the rest of that season, playing 26 games, and then he's been pretty much to the forefront of Arsenal's plans. He only played 12 games in his first season there, 2019-2020, but thereafter he's played mid to high 30s, averaging around a goal a game conceded or just under, 7.0 plus ratings, generally speaking, apart from last season. Let's have a look at his achievements. So as you can see here, he's made his senior debut in 2017. He won the French Youth Invitational in 2019 with Portugal under-20s. He won the European Championship under-19s with Portugal in 2019. He won the Community Shield with Arsenal in 2019. The Premier Division Cup in 2020 with Arsenal. He also won the French Youth Invitational again in 2020 with Portugal under-20s. He made his international debut in 2020 versus the Czech Republic. He won the Premier League in 22 and 23 with Arsenal. He won the FA Cup in 2023. He won the Community Shield in 2023. And then he won the FA Cup and Community Shield again in 2025. So I'm sure we can all agree here that João Baltazar is a formidable force between the sticks, and it is no surprise to see Arsenal doing so well in this game with him in their back line, commanding the rest of his players. So that's him done. Let's head across and find a defender who will be up on the screen now. So here we have the most exciting centre-back on the game. He is a 24-year-old Mexican called Alfonso Rodriguez, and he plays for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. He's played 53 times for his country, scoring 1 goal, valued at 40.5 million, earning 150 grand a week. As you can see, there's plenty of orange stats in there. There's also plenty of stats below 11. I mean, I think they don't have much of a bearing really on his defensive duties, but I don't like to see too many single figure stats in my players. But he is obviously a very, very capable and very good defender. Let's head across and have a look at his career stats. Let's see where he came from. Was he a product of their academy, or did he come from another club? So let's go and have a look now. As we can see, he started off with Deportivo Guadalajara in Mexico, before a 185 grand loan move to Santos Laguna in Mexico. He was loaned back there again before returning to Deportivo Guadalajara, before an £18.75 million switch to Sporting Lisbon in 2020-2021. He played 2 seasons there before Bayern came knocking with a £42.5 million bid, and has played for the German powerhouse ever since. He's now been there for 4 full seasons, and now he's going into his 5th season. He's averaged around 25-ish games a season. His last 2 seasons he's played 28 and 31 games for a 7.2 plus average rating. A couple of goals in each of those seasons. He's improving with experience. He's a real solid old-fashioned centre-back with plenty of strength, plenty of pace, plenty of agility. He'd be a real threat in the air. You're not going to get many balls over him if you're an attacker. Let's have a look at his achievement history. So he made his international debut in 2019 for Mexico versus Ghana. He won the Primera Liga in 2022 with Sporting. He won the Copa Scudo America with Mexico B in 2023. He won the CONCACAF Gold Cup in 2025 with Mexico. Scored his first international goal versus Romania in 2025 also. And won the Bundesliga in 2026 with Bayern Munich. I think there's a lot more to come from this guy. I think he was only 24. Yep, he's only 24. He's still young, still plenty of time to develop. But he's an exciting centre-back, as you'll find on this save. So now we're going to go and have a look forward and find a midfielder and then move on from there. So we've moved on to the midfield here, and here is Valquine Garrido, a Brazilian defensive midfielder, and can play a multitude of left-sided positions and in the centre of the park. He's played 8 games for his country, scoring 1 goal, valued at 66 million, earning 325 grand a week for the dominant force of PSG. He looks really good. There's plenty of orange stats in there, plenty of high quality attributes. So let's go across into his history and see where he came from. So we started off here. He started off with Porto in 18-19. He had a brief loan spell for a couple of seasons at Rio Ave, but has spent most of his time at Porto, where he's averaged around 7.0. He's played 3 full seasons for Porto before a £48 million switch to PSG. And his 2 seasons here so far, he's averaged a 7.55-ish rating between 66 games. He's made 13 assists, 3 goals and 5 man of the match performances. That is a really good return for a lad of just 23 years old. He's going to improve with experience. He's going to be a real top class player in this game. Let's have a look at his achievements. So he made his senior debut for Porto in 2019. He won the Supertaça Candido de Oliveira in 2021. Scored his first senior goal in 2022 for Porto. He won the Taça da Liga CTT in 2024. He won the Primeira Liga for Porto in the same year, and won the Olympic Games with the Brazil under-23s in 2024. He then made his international debut in 2024 against Venezuela. He scooped the Coupe de Liga in 2025 and League One in 2025. He scored his first international goal for Venezuela in 2025. Again, I presume that this was on his debut. And in 2026, he won the League One title again with PSG. And generally speaking, you're not going to get much better than that, are you? A frightening player to play against. The type of guy you'd have first on your team sheet pretty much every week. So yeah, that has been Valquine Garrido. Let's have a look next at an attacking midfielder. So we've got another Portuguese player here, boys and girls. This time it is Sergio Portela, an attacking midfielder. He can also double up as a midfielder and a striker. Again, he plays for PSG, who are a dominant force on this save. Look at all those orange stats, particularly in the physical department. I mean, you cannot ask for a better player than that. He's got a lot of high stats in both mental and technical departments. He's valued at 72 million. He's played 36 times for his country, scoring 21 goals. He's still only 25 years of age, and he's earning 250 grand a week. Let's head across to his history. Let's see a bit more about him and where he came from. So he started off at a club, Belenenses. I can't really pronounce that one. He moved on loan to Gil Vicente before going back to that other club, and then he made a £12.5 million switch to Porto in 2021, where he played 3 seasons for the Porto team, averaging around the 7.1 rating, generally speaking, scoring 13 goals in his second season. Then he made a £61 million switch to Chelsea in the Premier League, averaging well above 7 in each of those 3 seasons, scoring a total of 23 goals for the London team. In his last season at Chelsea, he scored 10 goals, made 11 goals, and played 36 with a 7.44 average rating. And in his first season for PSG, he played 35 games after an £81 million move. He scored 20 goals, made 15 goals, and played 4 man of the match performances for a 7.88 rating. I mean, he's potentially the best player in the whole game. I mean, that is just ridiculous, isn't it? So, you know, if you're interested in seeing the likes of how these guys do, Sergio Portela or for example, the Portuguese keeper that I gave earlier, then let me know. I've forgotten the names of them, to be honest. They're all quite... Garrido, the defensive midfielder, that was another one. The goalkeeper, what was his name? Can I remember it? Gabriel Barbosa. He was a really good goalkeeper. Well, he still is, obviously. So next we'll move on to the strikers. There's a few that I've got in mind for the strikers position. Not really sure which one to go with, because they're all a very similar ability. I've got a slight tussle between a German and an English player. So I think we'll go with the Englishman, and we'll also show you do you know what, sod it, I'll show you the German and the Englishman, and you can base your own opinions on that. But there's a lot more players that I haven't had time today to go through for obvious reasons. But yeah, so next we're going to load up the English player, who is a guy that plays for West Ham under the name of Jack Rowe, sporting a ridiculous haircut, but his stats are absolutely top class. He's a complete circle, complete forward, advanced forward, poacher. Generally speaking, they're all pretty good. He can play attacking midfield, so he's versatile down the centre of the park. Valued at 43 million. He's played 38 times for England at the age of 23, scoring 12 goals, earning 220 grand a week. He's hot property. Got to sort that hairstyle out though. I mean, he's ginger for a start, and I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of like a Mohican gone wrong, but he's balding either side of the Mohican. I don't understand that at all. Let's have a look at his career stats. So he started off with Liverpool. He's had loan spells at QPR and Norwich. And he's done alright for Liverpool, but this season he's made a £76 million move to West Ham, who are the second richest team on the game, I think, from memory. It's either those or Arsenal, I can't remember which one. They've been taken over by a tycoon, so money isn't really an option to these guys. I'd expect to see more of a return this season from Jack Rowe. I mean, he's still only 23. His stats are already up there. He could do with improving in certain areas, but generally speaking, he's a solid midfield, solid striker even. and he's going to be a real force for England. Remember, we won the Euros in 2024, so we're going to be thereabouts in the World Cup, hopefully. And he's going to be one of the ones leading the line there for us. And now we have got the German, who also looks very, very, very dangerous. And he's coming up on the screen now. So here we've got the 25-year-old German striker. And what I will say first of all is he has got a better haircut. So that makes him a better player. He scored 66 goals in 75 games for his German national team. He's got a ridiculous amount of orange stats there. He's valued at £63 million. He does earn 300 grand a week though. But I think he's worth that. He's been absolutely tearing it up. Let's go and have a look at what he's done so far. He started off with Bayern Munich. He went to Hamburger SV in the 2018-19 season for 20.5 million. He then made a £34 million switch to Dortmund in 2021, where he averaged around 20 goals a season in the 3 seasons he spent there, and then made an £81 million switch to Man City in the Premier League, and he scored around 20 goals a season thereafter. Most of his ratings, bar 2 seasons when he was at Hamburger, have been above the 7.0 rating, and comfortably so as well. He can play in the attacking midfield role. Let's have a look at his achievements to date. So he scored his first senior goal in 2017. He made his senior debut in 2017. He got promoted from Bundesliga 2 in 2019. He made his international debut versus Kazakhstan and scored his first international goal in that same game. He won the Bundesliga in 2021 with Dortmund. He won the European International League with Germany in 2021. He won the DFB Pokal in 2022. The DFL Super Cup in 2022 also, and the Bundesliga again in 2023. He won the UEFA Champions League with Man City in 2024, the FIFA Club World Cup in 2024. He won the EFL Cup in 2025, that's a League Cup equivalent, and the European International League again with Germany in 2025, and the Premier League in 2026. So, I mean, if you had this guy coming up against your defence, what would you do? What tactics would you employ for this one? Personally, I'd absolutely shit myself, and I'd probably go on holiday mode and hope for the best. He's just an animal. He reminds me actually of a young Miroslav Klose, but a lot more pace. Well, he's just like a football god, isn't he? It's just ridiculous. So that has completed the players part of this looking ahead. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had a handful of actual players that started the game and where they've ended up. We've also had a handful of regens as well, plucks from the database. If you want to see more, if you want to see how they do in their saves, if you'd like to see a few more regens, do leave a comment down below. If you've enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. That will help with getting more content out there to more people. The more likes we get, the more reach we get, and more people can see this sort of stuff. And hopefully, if you're having a boring day and you watch this, you might have, wasted half an hour and enjoyed it, and you can watch more videos going forward. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. There's going to be a lot more stuff coming up. Not only my career save with Bournemouth, but also this kind of stuff. I want to try and set up a journeyman save as well, and I might even look at managing a team in another league perhaps. A bit undecided about that at the moment. So yeah, again, thank you for watching, and this completes the look through the players on the holiday mode save.